back to Trading 360. I'm Nicole Petalides. We're live, we're back, it's a new year, and we're glad you're with us. So it's time for the ever-popular Big Three. People love to look at this. 3 stocks, 3 charts, 3 trades. Kevin Green will take us through the charts. Here to take us through the trades, Alan Nuckman, Chief Market Strategist at bullseyeoption.com. Great to see you both. Happy New Year. So before we start looking at the specific names, Alan, how are you feeling as we kick off a new month and a new year?
Bit of a pause in December, as Teddy had talked about, but there's going to be some great opportunities. It's definitely going to be a stock pickers market with a new administration this year, so it should be a lot of excitement. And again, the key is having the discipline to take advantage of it, because there are going to be a lot of, how should we say politely, separation, I would think, in the individual stocks versus the macro market, as we've had just mainly the macro market move in the last couple of years.
Understood. So where did you come up with Ctra Energy? Why is this one on your radar today?
Well, I still think, and I've been disappointed over and over, but I'm a limited risk options trader in these energy stocks. So I'm starting to see some life in crude, and especially natural gas broke out to the upside last week. And natural gas has a lot of room to move. In crude oil, we can get above the $73, and then we can get to 75 rather quickly, and then that's the midpoint of the action for the last couple of years. So there's a lot of potential there because nobody believes. So this used to be Cabot Oil. This is a stock that's been trading between 20 and 30 for years, between 23 and 29 here for the year. So we're at the 26 midpoint, which is important. But what I follow every week, we talk about this, is the money flow. There's leverage long accumulation in options in this stock. So someone's building a position here. So that's a very positive, smart money sign. And it's a stock that's got a PE of 15. So it's an undervalued stock. The way I'm looking to play it here is an April 23 call, again, the bottom of that range, trading for about 350. It's got 3 months of time. It's $3 in the money. And if we get up to that 29 level, which is the top of the range again, then this option will gain nearly 100%.
Okay, and the money flow is key. Let's see what Kevin has to say. Happy New Year, Kevin Green. Good to see you.
Happy New Year. Yeah, if you're kind of looking at the stock setup, I mean, earlier last year around April, we did see a consolidation pattern or this bearish descending channel pattern taking place here. And we did see a break of that happening at around August of this year, of last year now, where it did actually create and develop this inverse head and shoulders pattern. That's where we actually see the head of that inverse head and shoulders sitting at around $22.30 back in early September, came back, tried to retest, and then we broke out higher. Now, if we actually extend that channel that I was talking about earlier in April, and you can continue to move it over here, this is where we actually saw an area of resistance. In November, we saw the stock hit around $27.60, backed off, and now we actually saw a break lower of that 200-day moving average. But today, it's above the 200-day, trying to hold it for right now. And what you would like to see is actually some follow-through, a breakout to the upside, getting above that $27.30 level. And that's probably where you could see, once again, kind of getting towards $28.50, $29 here. If you do see a breakdown, you would see that point of control on the volume profile sitting at around $24.30 as your area of support. RSI, for the most part, is making higher lows. It is still in a bullish trend, but that MACD is really what I'm keeping my eye out on, and I'm sure Alan is doing the same thing. When you see that MACD cross at 12 EMA above the 26 EMA, Nicole, it also does usually coincide with prices moving higher, and we actually did just see that cross around 2 trading sessions ago. So for the most part, this is actually a bullish setup, but it does have to get above some of these key areas of resistance. A lot of volume here as well. Let's see what's actually going to happen with this name, with some of the bullish enthusiasm for energy over the next couple of weeks.
Right, understood. Thank you for that. Great charts too. Alan Nuckman, final thoughts here. CTRA at 25.84 today.
Well, it's one stock that hasn't participated in the rally and it's been sideways for a long time. Risk reward is all on its side. Asymmetrical risk reward, because I think, there is always the opportunity for the energy markets to get a spark because everybody's been left out for so long. So a limited risk in the money option, being long from 20, being long, not wrong, being long from 23 is a position to be in for my personality.
Right. Okay. We get it. And your personality is a lot about how you trade,
Exactly.
Right? You got to know your personality. I think that's such a big part of it. Let's talk about Birk stocks. When you look at Birk, tell me a little bit about this name.
I don't know anything about the name, to be honest with you, but I see the chart, and that's really what I focus on. Again, it's about money flow, the money flow accumulation. Someone's been positioning in options on the long side with big positions, so they obviously have a very strong bullish opinion. In the big picture, it's been between 45 and 55 for 4 months, and it broke out. Well, now it's come back to that breakout as markets often do. Now that 45 to 55, that target's 65. So it's coming back. So I'm leaning on that 55 level of support, looking at, I think I typed in the wrong option for you. So I think I want to be looking at the 50 call, which is in the money further than the 55. So it's an April 50 call. We're trading at 57 and a quarter. So it's $7 and some in the money. Trade for about 9. So it's got 3 months of time. That'd be 3, sorry. 3 months of time, and gives us right to be long from that 50 level, which is significantly lower than we're trading right now.
Okay, got it. And thanks for the clarification on that. It's at $57 today. What do you think about the charts and the technicals, Kevin?
Well, the chart's pretty erratic if you're kind of looking at the price action over last year, and rightfully so. I IPO'd in October 2023, so you're still really trying to find the right valuations and get the right price action before the stock probably settles out here. But we are actually at the upper end of that range, and if you kind of look at this breakout to the upside, we saw a move above that 200 period moving average back in late November, and it's really trying to sustain that right now. The 20 period moving average is really what's being tested, and that's what you want to be able to hold if you're a bull in this name in order to try to get back up to around $64.70. But if we do get a breakdown, the 200 period moving average sitting at around 51.40 is going to be your first area of support. And if we have any further of a breakdown here, $45.50 going to be a key area to focus on. RSI does show that momentum is waning for this name right now, and the MACD actually did just have a bearish cross, 12 EMA below the 26. This is a volatile stock here, Nicole. Not a lot of price action or price discovery, obviously, since the IPO here. So this is going to be one that you got to kind of hold on and look for the further vision from the fundamentals rather than maybe a lot of the technicals. The technicals are trying to tell you maybe a little bit of a cooling off period, but the fundamentals, once again, is pretty volatile on a quarter by quarter basis, which is really what's fueling a lot of this, gappy type of price action over the last year.
Yeah, and look, I mean, it managed to make that comeback after that big gap down, and is clawing its way back. I think that impressed folks too, right? The 3 months of 20% gain. Alan, final thoughts here.
Yeah, filling that gap was a very, very strong sign after that double bottom, and they tested and rejected that low. So that's a very strong sign. But like Kevin said, we've only been trading this stock for 2 years, but it's been between 40 and 60. So 50, again, that 50 strike is the midpoint. So that's a very solid level to lean on. We had the breakout. Now we need to see a secondary move to confirm that. And like we just said, 64, 65, this option gains 60 or 70%. So it's, again, multiplication of a small move in the underlying stock.
Okay. Last but not least, we're taking a look here at SLV, silver, the ETF. We were watching gold at new highs. Silver also hit some new highs, but has pulled back since that mid-October level high. Tell me a little bit about where you think this could be headed and why.
Well, silver, if you adjust all-time highs for inflation, would have to get to $50 or more just to adjust for that price, whereas gold's already done that and continues to make new inflation-adjusted highs. In the last 2 years, gold is up about 45% and silver is up 22%. So I've been looking for a little bit of rubber band snapback. Silver's at 27 SLV. It's been mostly between 25 and 30 now for 9 months. The breakout of this target is 35. And we've come back to this 200-day moving average, and it's making kind of a base here. Looking at the April 25 call, the bottom of that range, trading for about $275, a rather inexpensive option, but it's $2 in the money. And for this to get to 29 or 30, the option would gain about 100%.
Interesting. Okay, so let's see what Kevin has to say about the charts, the technicals. Please, Kevin.
Yeah, if you're looking at SLV, the longer-term trend is definitely to the upside here. We actually saw a lot of enthusiasm in the middle of 2024 when it came to silver in general, just a lot of the industrial as well as precious metals. But we did see a failed cup and handle pattern here. It really started off in May. We had that move to the downside, came back, tested around $24.50, kind of moved up higher, hit $31.80, and then we kind of failed. And now we are below that 200 period moving average here. I think your first area of resistance is going to be $28.28. That's your volume point of control over the year here. But you can make a case that if we do break above the 20 period moving average, try to reclaim that 28-ish area, that you could actually get a nice little move back higher. And if you do test 31.80, it's not outside of the realm of silver to do so. If you kind of go through past cycles for silver, usually double tops or triple tops before completely failing to the downside. I also put a Fibonacci retracement level here, going from those lows of $20.07 back in January of last year to the highs of $31.80. And you can actually see some confluence when it comes to the strikes that the strike that Alan's picking out. The 50% retracement level sitting literally at around $26, almost $26 even, and the 61.8% retracement sitting at around $24.61, which you could see some buyers stepping in. MACD is the key when it comes to silver. Silver trades on more of a technical basis than probably any other commodity product out there. And when you see the crosses, bullish crosses to the upside, 12 above the 26, you see some buyers actually stepping in. Price moves higher. And the inverse of that, 12 below the 26, you see some selling taking place here. I would also look at that MACD and look at that 12 EMA cross to give you that first signal that a bullish trend is going to take place here. And the last thing I will say, you love silver, Nicole. When no one else loves silver, that's when you try to get in. And that's what a lot of commodity traders try to do. So you can make that case.
Well, that's how you got to do it with everything. That's what you got to do with everything, right? I mean,
especially silver, though. Kevin is 100% right. Especially silver. We've got it. When people hate it, that's when you want to be loving it.
Right. Okay. Okay, gentlemen. Great to see you both for the big three today. A nice look there at three great names. Thank you very much. And Alan Nuckman of BullseyeOption.com and Kevin Green there. Happy New Year and our first big three of 2025. Many more to come. Coming up next, we're going to spotlight some investing themes for this new year, 2025. And Caleb Silver will be joining us from Investopedia, telling us what people are watching, what's on the radar, what are they looking up, how are they feeling. Trading 360, we'll be right back.